Hello guys and welcome back to The Sims 4. Today we're doing a dollhouse. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I think they're really good for being like, they're almost like a mood board or a palette, right? Like, you know your sim can't live here, so you don't really have to stick to the constraints of could they actually use this. You can just sort of build and see what your brain comes up with, and I think it's kind of a fun palette cleanser or a refresh. Today's sort of vibe, if you will, today's inspiration was that I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on like converted living spaces, like things that were not meant to be living spaces now being living spaces. In this particular instance, I was thinking like this was maybe an old church or like an old Main Street building. Maybe it was like an old Wells Fargo or something like that. If you're in America, that's a bank. And well, it's more than a bank, but I'm not getting into it. You know, something like that, like old Main Street, you know, like a really old, beautiful brick building that's now an apartment, and it wasn't an apartment to start, something like that. And so there's lots of exposed wood here. It's kind of an odd layout because obviously you're fitting into it as something that was never intended to be a house. In this case, living, dining, kitchen, and what would theoretically be a bathroom are all downstairs, although as you can see, the bathroom does not exist. I couldn't be bothered. It was behind a closed door, and I just was not super in the mood to build a bathroom. Middle floor is the bedroom, and upper floor is the office with the balcony. The only thing is in real life, which clearly this is a little house, so we don't care about real life, the office being on the, like, having to walk through your kitchen, or through your bedroom, excuse me, up to the office would probably be a little bit annoying in real life. Maybe not. I guess it depends whether or not you have clients. I wasn't really imagining clients, like, ever being here. It would freak me out to have clients in my home office, but I'm also a software engineer, so I thrive on being, like, in my zone alone, like, with my headphones on, like, don't talk to me unless you absolutely need me kind of thing, excuse me. And so, like, I'm not the person to talk to about this one, but I went a little bit, like, found artifact with the styling a little bit, like the kitchen, I imagine, like, they're not new cabinets, they're new to the building cabinets, and same thing with the stove and the fridge. They're not new, but they're new to you. They're refurbed, that kind of thing. I really wanted to do lots of patterns, like lots of bright colors, but I almost wanted like aesthetically clashing, if that makes sense. Like I wanted it to look like someone just wanted an explosion of color. There was not meant to be like a theme necessarily, and so I was trying to do lots of different colors and lots of different styles. Lots of different patterns and things to really liven it up and make it feel super bright and happy in here. And I think we got there in the end. I really love the bedroom, especially. The office is kind of funny because it's actually like its back is to us, like the way this dollhouse is intended to be seen. Its back is to us, but it works. I think it makes sense. This coffee table that I sort of pseudo designed with 3 other coffee tables, you do have to be careful if you were to do something like this in your Sims build, because you can shrink down tables and things like that, but the slotting still works the same. So if you shrink it down, it'll slot, like if you put a plant on it, it'll slot, but it's floating. So just a heads up, if you want to mimic that, just make sure you slot only on the regular sized one. Don't try to slot on the little ones, or slot something in temporarily, alt place something and then remove that, because it'll float otherwise, is all I'm saying. I had some issues with this cabinet fighting me for no good reason. I've had that happen a lot recently where things are just wanting to ping off into space. I don't know what that is. I think it's time to retire the save and maybe start again. For those of you who watched my thrifty video, which for me just went out, but for you will have gone out a while ago, you know that a dining table just shot off into space and then proceeded to crash my entire computer. Like to the point where I was like, cool, I'm gonna have to go spend money and probably get something new, because it took hours to get that like put back together, and I still have no idea what happened there. Not a clue. Some script went violently, angrily wrong. But you know, I'm running an older computer, so that should not shock me. I think my favorite thing about this house is the big old piece of furniture under the stairs, which you'll see here in a minute. I absolutely love the idea of using under the stairs space. I think that's so useful. If I live in a house currently that doesn't, the only stairs are to the basement, and they're completely closed in. Like on one side's the utility cabinet thingy, and on the other side is the it's more utility. It's supposed to be like a pantry, but it's like holds the water heater and stuff, and then underneath it's just like it connects the two, but you can't get in there without like popping this big old nasty door off, so it's not really usable space. It's like a dirt floor. The point I was making though is if I had stairs that weren't like that, where they were open, or like they were like part of it was open to the thing, I would use that for storage. In the house that I grew up in, our pantry was under the stairs, which was really cool. Useful space is what I'm saying. I like being able to stick stuff under the stairs because it's useful space. I think just having the stairs sit there with the walls on it a lot of times. I mean, like in real life, you wouldn't do that. You'd have some sort of storage, most likely. So in The Sims, I try to mimic that as much as I can. Here you can see, because I sized down that table, you can see me having to alt place. That's what I mean. Like if I hadn't alt placed that lamp, it would be floating naturally in the slot. So you just have to kind of watch for stuff like that. It's no biggie. See, there's the book slotting, and basically just what you have to do is slot something into that spot so that it doesn't auto slot again, and then place something down below. And sometimes it's a little weird because with the raising and lowering, like it hops up in increments, and the increments don't always match. It can be a little bit of a fussy thing, but again, it's a dollhouse. It doesn't have to be livable, so it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter all that much. This is the bookshelf I was talking about, where it's all the usable storage under the stairs, and I really enjoyed making this, but it also fought me. I think I cut most of it out, but there was a point where just like half of it walked off, and I was like, what on earth? You know? What on earth? I was having some issues, but I think it turned out really cute, and I got to use a pattern I don't usually use, because like I said, that was sort of the whole vibe, was I just wanted lots of patterns. Thought it was going to be really fun. But I can hear my voice starting to go. I've recorded a lot of voiceovers today. I can hear people outside saying, oh, when she's done, let her know. So that means I'm probably needed outside my door. So I'm going to go ahead and let you all go. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you enjoy this build. I hope you're feeling loved. And if you're not feeling loved, please know that I love you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you exist. I'm glad you get to play The Sims now. It's all free. Well, it's not all free, but like the base game is free, and that's the best part, because you can do pretty much everything with the base game. And then like if you need a pack, you can get a pack. Maybe I'll do a video on like what my favorite packs are. Although that's so hard, because given the day, it sometimes changes. But maybe I'll do a video on like my all-time favorite packs, because I do have a couple that I love. That would be worth getting, I think. And then I have a couple that I'm like, these are nice, but I could live without them. I'll think about that. Anyways, I'm rambling again. I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you all later.